Hi lovelies, this video is about me and Ava going to a birthday party at CoCo Key's indoor water park. So, Ava was invited to a birthday party of a little girl at her autism center, and we went to CoCo Key's Water Park. At first, it was kind of a nightmare because she was like strangling me. She didn't want to get down, and I had to like sit in the little pool with her like on my lap, holding me like this in front of me when I'm like sitting down in the pool, until she got comfortable. Then we kind of went to the indoor splash pad, and this chick was in love. Like, she didn't want to leave or whatever. And it's actually a nice place. It's kind of hot in there though. It's like really humid. So I guess they try to keep it over 70 something degrees, which sometimes I felt like I couldn't breathe because it was so hot, and it's water and it's creating kind of a steam effect. We went on a Sunday, which was good because there wasn't as many kids, because you know, when you have kids on the spectrum, it's hard to be around a whole crowds and crowds of kids, and kids are not really accommodating of other kids. They push, they run, they jump, you know, it's just crazy. All in all, I loved it, but when it was time to go to the little girl's birthday party, which was in a back room, Ava didn't want to leave the water, so she fell apart. She laid on the ground, she kicked, she screamed. I had to carry all of her 38 pounds to the party, where she cried the whole time. And I'm not talking about a little bitty cry. She was crying the whole time, to the point that when we got to the party, the mother was like, you know, you can go back to the water. I totally understand, you know. So me and her go back to the water. By this point, I'm a little pissed, you know, because it wasn't that she was having a meltdown because the sensor issue. She was having a meltdown because it was something she wanted and she wasn't getting it. So it's always a struggle how to discipline in that way. So when we came back, she didn't realize we were coming back to the water. And again, she laid on the ground and kicked and screamed and cried and was upset. So we go back to the water. We stayed another hour and a half. And I did go with a friend and her daughter too. So we stayed another hour and a half. And then she didn't give me as much hassle when it was time to leave. So it is difficult to get myself dressed and get her dressed and everything else. But we left, and there was no issue. Then when we got home, this chick thought if I said no to her, she was going to lay on the ground and kick and scream. Well, I stopped that precedent, and I stepped over her and let her lay there, kick and scream. So we are past that point now. She gets up and she realizes that this attention seeking of laying on the ground and kicking and screaming is not going to motivate me to give you something I told you no, which I discussed with her therapist, and he agreed that I was correct. That if I gave in to her laying on the ground and kicking and screaming, that it would be endless, and I would always be put in that position that when I said no, she's going to lay on the ground and kick and scream. So that was a couple weeks ago, and she seems to be fine. She does have her little tantrums, but there has not been laying on the ground kicking and screaming since the water park, the day of the water park. I will insert videos and pictures somewhere in this video of Ava enjoying CoCo Key's indoor water park. Like, comment, subscribe, holla back.